Welcome back to Corporate Radar. For now, we have a guest joining in from JP Morgan. Saurabh Kumar, the research head at banking of JP Morgan, joins in. Saurabh, thanks so much for being with us on the show. I want to first start by asking you your overall view on the sector itself. Has the contribution of banks gone down because of the challenges that we've seen?
So in terms of the sector, we have a positive stance, at least on the bigger banks, because we think in this situation, they should be able to improve their market share given the better quality of funding and better quality of capital they have. From a India portfolio perspective, we are actually overweight on larger banks.
Okay. No, I think what Sonia is asking is that if JPM had, out of 100 rupees, maybe 40 rupees of banks, now has it come down to whatever, 20 rupees in your overall basket?
So I don't think that contribution has changed, but that's a question for the strategist.
No, you would know, that's all. Okay, basically.
So yeah, but that contribution hasn't changed.
Okay.
But the portfolio has shifted towards the larger banks.
Oh,
Mix has certain.
Within your own, list.
Yeah.
Saurabh, the market has not spared even the HDFC banks and the Kotak banks of the world. Would you worry about anything with respect to even these marquee private sector banks, which should be on everyone's list? Do you think that there can be unexpected problems because of the moratorium and the loan recast and the COVID, problems?
So our expectation is that the restructuring numbers at the system level may be about 6 to 7. We think the private banks may actually end up doing better. I'm personally not that concerned about the retail sector per se, which is where some of these banks are more heavily concentrated in. Even in the large corporate space, we think a lot of the restructuring need not be very high. It will largely be concentrated in the SME, mid-corporate, maybe the real estate sector, where I think, let's say for some of these banks you mentioned, the relative contribution or relative exposures is not that high. And even within those exposures, I think a lot of it is concentrated with fairly reasonable LTVs. So I wouldn't be very worried about the fundamentals of these banks. And I think any weakness, in our view, is an opportunity to buy more.
What's your view on NBFCs now? Is this a good time to be buying some of the larger names, the Bajaj Finances of the world?
So I can't give you stock-specific recommendation, but I think that the funding challenges have certainly eased up for almost the entire space, or it is easing sharply. The key issue is on growth, and whenever that number starts to improve, then I think there can be some incremental money which could be allocated, but I think the stance will still remain to be more overweight on banks versus NBFCs at this point.
So you have NBFCs in your buy list, and your suspicion is that the number of NBFCs could increase in the days to come in your buy list?
Yeah, so it depends on the NBFC and depends on the relative exposure of that NBFC. So an NBFC which is more heavily exposed into SME or real estate financing, I think those challenges are not going away in a hurry. But some of them which are mostly purely into retail, we think that those guys can come back more quickly.
For the system as a whole, Saurabh, what is your sense? Will we get to that fourth quarter 2014 levels, the post-AQR levels? Where can the system NPA peak?
So now the number actually, Lata, will be the restructuring, right? Because
of course,
now,
yeah. But
so you have to look at slippage plus restructuring in some sense. So my sense is the slippage will be 2 to 3%. The restructured number may be, as I said, 6 to 7, and within that, more heavily concentrated into the SME space. So I think the NPA number may just be about 10.5, 11, but you will have another 6 odd percent, which may sit as restructured over and above that.
Okay. Do any of the mid-cap private banks interest you? Are they in your list at all? The Federals, DCBs, a whole lot, RBLs, Bandhans, any of those also in your list?
So there is one of them in that list, but the principle with which we are looking at is you should have very high capital, which is very high CET1, and a very strong retail deposit franchise. So these two should be there. for us to look at some of these smaller banks. But there's one from that list. But again, most of it is weighted towards the larger banks.
Okay.
Because they score better.
Just one follow-up on the banks that have a large amount of retail exposure. Over the next 6 to 12 months, you don't fear that there could be a big, NPA hazard there?
So on retail, I'm actually not that worried. So Indian consumer is actually not very levered up on any metric. And in fact, credit discipline has actually been decent. And if you look going into this pandemic, we have come off after IL&FS, the growth had generally slowed down for the economy. And as a banks, if you look at over 2019, early part of 2020, had already tightened up the underwriting standards quite substantially in the retail sector. So I will not be that worried. The only issue is how loosely the banks or how tightly the banks frame the restructuring policy. So unlike moratorium, which was given, could be asked by the borrower, restructuring is to be approved by the lender. And if the banks frame a very tight policy around it, then I think the number may actually positively surprise the markets.
Okay. Well, we were just told by SBI that banks will be very prudent about restructuring. They expect to be very tight, as you put it. So perhaps all that together is making the Nifty Bank a little stronger at this point in time. Thank you very much, Saurabh, and have a great conference out there. Okay, as we wind down on Bazaar, the markets have really picked themselves up, pulled themselves up from the bootstraps, as it were. It's the mid-cap that has suddenly lost a lot of verve. It's been the outperforming space, and it even began in the morning with a little bit of outperformance, but suddenly we are seeing it fall with a thud. We will be discussing all that, but after a gap of half an hour. For the next half an hour, we are going to have some of the best economists of the country join us. They are all part of CNBC TV 18's Citizens Monetary Policy Committee. They're going to deliberate on television on what ought to be on the Monetary Policy Committee's mind when the RBI announces its policy on October 1st. Stay tuned.